All right, and welcome back to episode 70 of the Alec Frengos Show. This is a sports podcast centered around NBA and NFL. And today I'm joined by Wyatt Thomas, Ryan McKellar, and welcome to the show, Aleyab. Thank you for joining. And today we're going to be talking about a bunch of NFL news. We're going to be talking about NFC East predictions and thoughts, offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year predictions, and we'll talk a little bit about basketball and we'll see where it brings us. But first we'll start off with recent news. Deebo Samuel signed back with the Niners, which we were talking about in the last episode, Ryan, and this was because, which we now know, Ricky Pearsall out for the year, who the 49ers invested a first-round draft pick on a couple of years back. So I'll start with you, Wyatt. Does this Deebo Samuel signing kind of fully replace Ricky Pearsall? Does it make them better? Does it hurt them? What's your viewpoint on this? Kind of like one for one, it looks like, in and out here.
I mean, it's definitely a replacement, so you definitely can't say it makes you worse because they lost a key piece. It doesn't really move me, though, because Deebo's never been a number one receiver, if this makes sense. When he was very good, he was, as I said, he was the best player on that offense, but Brandon Ayuk was the best receiver when that era of Niners was really good.
But Deebo Samuel is a guy that molds into any offense.
Yep. He's solid. I don't love Deebo Samuel being your number one receiver, and
He's not.
Who?
Mike Evans. Mike Evans is better than Deebo Samuel when healthy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think 100%.
That health and the age is a big question. We'll see. But
last episode we predicted the NFC West. Ricky Pearsall maybe could have primed himself for a big year this year if healthy, because he was a first-round draft pick. He showed flashes last year as well.
Definitely.
When was it last year Ayuk went down with the ACL? No, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
But that last year was kind of the Ricky Pearsall. Let's see where it starts. Purdy was hurt for a bit. Mac Jones was in. McCaffrey obviously leads this offense, though, in totality. Hopefully he can stay healthy. What's your outlook on the 49ers this year as a team? Because they always seem to be a safe pick, even though people bet against them because they have injuries and whatnot. Where do you stand with this team right now?
I think the Pearsall injury will be big. Obviously, they've dealt with it a lot. Obviously, first year, he unfortunately got shot.
That was crazy.
Who predicts that, of course? Right. Obviously, was able to recover really quickly. So, obviously, that was good for him. He's had that lingering LCL injury for a while now.
Yeah.
My thing is, it looked like it was probably misdiagnosed of how the severity of it, because obviously he was he'd be out for 4 games.
He played through it last year, yeah.
Exactly. Come back for 2 games, be out again. So obviously, hope he's able to recover this year. Obviously, he did have some big games. I remember clearly one against the Bucks. I think he went for 161 or something with a touchdown. Yeah. I don't know, man. With Deebo, obviously he knows the system very well, so he'll be a perfect plug-in guy for
Shanahan
for them.
knows how to use him too.
Exactly. Obviously Deebo obviously played a lot of running back with Niners, so he'll get a lot of snaps there as well. Obviously, I don't know how well the injury bug with their running back situation. I know Guerrero was out for a bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Isaac Guerrero was it?
Guerrero, yeah. He was out for a bit. I don't know if they still have Elijah Mitchell. I think he's off the team now, yeah.
I don't even think he's in the league, to be honest.
I think last time I saw he was getting a tryout.
Was it last year or the year before they brought in Brian Robinson?
Last year.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, actually, so no.
Brian Robinson's gone now.
Oh, he's gone now, yeah.
He's on the Falcons, correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay,
because I saw the meme.
One thing I want to touch before I go to you on this topic, Ryan. What do the 49ers have? Obviously, the power plant saga and all this stuff. Why can't this be dealt with in the offseason? They see he lingered with a knee injury. Why couldn't the 49ers figure this out? Have him surgically repaired, even back by week 5, week 6, if it's like a 8-month type of recovery. What's this with the 49ers and these injuries? One time's a fluke. What do you say? One time's...
Oh, yeah, one time's a fluke, second time maybe, 3 times.
This has happened 20 times with the Niners. They got to fix this injury issue. Talk to me.
Yeah, they always seem to suffer a major injury every single year. So I think that's got to stem from the team doctors. You got to have a talk, maybe move on with them. Maybe they're not fully explaining to the players the severity of their injury, and the players are still going out and just doing their casual thing and not taking care of it. So that'd be a definite problem. Got to maybe move on from the doctors, but it'd be nice. It's nice for them to bring in Deebo because they're probably planning on having a big step from Pearsall this year in their plays, in their playbook. But now having him out for the year, at least it happened now, and now they can just plug in Deebo plays from the past years. It shouldn't affect them a whole lot. It might be a better complement with Mike Evans and Deebo. So,
yeah. Let's move on. You were talking about the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield is unpleased with the Buccaneers organization. They offered him 2 years, $50 million AAV. He's looking for more term. He thinks he's a franchise QB. And Wyatt, one topic you like to say a lot, it's hard to find a franchise QB in the NFL now. Do you think Baker Mayfield's being disrespected by the Buccaneers? And where's your standpoint on him putting his career and big-time money on the line here on kind of a prove-it year? Because if he has a big year and somehow wins the division, leads the Buccaneers to the playoffs, he's in for a big payday, whether that be the Buccaneers going to extend him, or will he say, listen, y'all didn't want to give me a bag, I'm going to be out of here now?
I think it's a smart move by him because Baker Mayfield, he had a rough year last year, but he also got hurt last year, and before that, he looked pretty good. The year before that, or I believe the 2 years before that, he was really good.
Beat the Lions in Detroit, if I'm correct?
Yes, opening, I think.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Oh, playoffs, yes.
Yeah, and then they lost because of a weird fumble to Washington, too. So they almost won 2 playoff games. They beat the Eagles the year before that in the playoffs. So he's a guy who's, when he gets to the playoffs, he plays pretty good. There's not been a playoff game where I remember Baker Mayfield's the reason that they lost it, at least in Tampa. And I think he's done pretty well. And I think there's a lot of other issues in Tampa that are not around the quarterback. And that is why that team struggled last year. And I think will struggle this year too. But I don't think it's a Baker Mayfield problem in Tampa. I think it's the coach and the rest of the team.
What's your stance on Baker Mayfield betting on himself?
It's a good gamble for sure, but it definitely can work out, and it hasn't worked out in the past for some players.
Injury plays a big factor.
I feel like from the Bucs standpoint, they're hesitant on giving him money because of how hard it is to get a franchise quarterback, and to be able to settle on someone who could potentially just be mid and not get you over the hump on getting you deep in the playoffs, and then you put a lot of money capital into him, it could definitely bite them in the ass. So I could see why they're hesitant on that. But then again, you got to look at their division, and Baker Mayfield's a type of quarterback in that division that he can win that division for you.
Yes.
So he will get you to the playoffs. It's a matter of how much further he can take you after that. So why the Bucs are waiting so long, I don't know why they're hesitant, but I feel like they should get a deal done with him immediately.
Yeah, because we've seen last year, Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl. There's a lot of guys where you could put a quarterback in a good situation and he can take you there if you have the team. But if Baker Mayfield were to walk in this instance, the Buccaneers kind of go in no man's land with the QB. They got to find a bridge QB, wait till they're bad, draft someone. Do you think Baker Mayfield, before you go here, do you think Baker Mayfield saying he has a good year, do you think he'll take an extension with the Bucs and call it a career there, if he gets a 4-year extension, or do you think he's going to go somewhere else the way they've treated him, not giving him a fair extension?
Aleyab. The issue with Baker is he's definitely a guy, I don't know, obviously we don't know him, but with his history, he does seem to take stuff a little personal.
Yeah.
So it depends. Obviously, that he did say in the media that he felt disrespected, of course. How will that play if he plays good? Obviously, it's going to be big money. And when looking at their transactions, they didn't do a whole lot on offense.
No.
Brought in Gainwell. That will help with the Bucky Irving situation. We don't know too much about that. He says he's good, but obviously he was out for...
Rashad White's in Washington now
too.
So he'll be the certified backup.
Kate Auden coming back is good for them. He's a great piece, obviously, in short situations. I think he's a 3-year, $30 million, $20 million guaranteed, which is good. Did revamp the defense. Anzalone will be big for their linebacker situation. Obviously, Levante David is gone.
He retired, I think.
Retired, yeah. So he'll replace him immediately, which is a good signing. But that's the thing. Even with their wide receiver situation, obviously Ibuka with what's his name? McMillan, yeah, coming back from injury. He had a scary, I think, spine injury.
Yeah.
Came back a little bit at the end of the year. Played decently well. It just with the pieces, it's just the issue with them is obviously next year's quarterback class is loaded, of course, but
yeah. I don't think they'll be in with
that's
Mayfield,
the issue.
Though, they won't be in the...
Yeah, they'll probably, if they have a bad year, probably be maybe at most 12th in the draft order.
5 and 12, 6 and 11, 7 and 10.
They'll probably be in that middle of the pack between 10 and 20, and you won't be able to get a quarterback at that stage if he does decide not to resign. So
no, yeah,
it's tricky. Either you the Bucks kind of have to hope either he can get over this and re-sign, or they're kind of screwed, because I can definitely see if it's a good situation where they play good. Let's say they get into the second round of the playoffs, plays good, whatever. He might be able to go and get a huge contract.
55 a year probably.
Exactly. Maybe even like, I could definitely see 55. Realistically, maybe like a 49 to 50 range.
With more term.
Yeah, with more term, exactly. And like, are the Bucks willing to give that? You know?
That's right. I have the quarterback salaries in front of me, and you said it's 50. They offered him 50 AAV. There's a significant draw. That seems to be like a line, because in around that, there's Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, and Deshaun Watson. We'll forget him. And Baker Mayfield are all below that. And then the quarterbacks that are making 50+. Jalen Hurts.
Lawrence.
Lamar. Justin Herbert. Brock Purdy. Jared Goff. Matt Stafford. Lawrence. Love. Allen. Burrow. Prescott. Mahomes.
So certified franchise QBs.
Yeah.
Is Mayfield, does he deserve that money where Lawrence is, and et cetera, et cetera? Or
He's
like
done more than
Herbert?
Trevor Lawrence has in his career.
And he's
Like,
low-key done more
where
than
do we
Herbert.
sit on this? Because
100% did more than Herbert.
what if Mayfield was in a situation, like, just theoretically, where he had a very good team and he's proven to win playoff games in Tampa Bay? What if he was in a situation like Jacksonville with a young and upcoming team and they need a QB to take them over the top? Can Mayfield be a guy in a good system to lead a team to an NFC, AFC championship, or even to a Super Bowl as the quarterback?
I don't think he can take a team to the Super Bowl or even an NFC championship. I feel like that's his cutoff line, a game before where he loses it. But then again, when you're guaranteed to make the playoffs, I shouldn't say guaranteed, but you have a guaranteed shot every year with him at your quarterback in your division. You never know. Football, it's that one sport where like anything can happen, and it matters like of an injury or something. So I just couldn't see him getting past that point.
What about this hypothetical? So Stafford, something happens, retires, injury. Rams sign him to a deal. Team that has history with him, and it's probably the best roster in the league. Can we agree? Overall?
Yeah.
What is that team ceiling to you with Baker Mayfield?
10, 11 wins.
Okay.
So you're not as high on Baker Mayfield. Like, do you think Lawrence is better? You think somebody like Herbert's better? Do you think somebody like Hurts is better in a good system?
Yes.
I think that's also true, but I also have to say Mayfield has done more than everyone except Jalen Hurts in that category.
Done more than Herbert, success-wise.
On that list, the only I can say it's probably Purdy. I would replace Baker with, but it's hard overall.
It's so hard to rank Purdy because he's in a system with Shanahan and he executes it so well.
Exactly.
I can't judge Purdy until if I eventually see him on another team without Shanahan, without a McCaffrey, without those guys. So it's very hard to rank Brock Purdy. So I have to put him how he's been with his team right now, and he's been to a Super Bowl. Yep. Right? So I can't say that Mayfield's better than Purdy because I've seen Purdy take teams there, whether he's done it on his shoulders or he's just been able to manage it all the way through. So the Mayfield, it's going to be one of the most interesting stories to follow this season because he's betting on himself, and we're going to see if it works out or not. In a year from now, we'll see how it fully turns out for Baker Mayfield.
Even in that division, like, I would probably say, honestly, out of every team, the Bucks probably added the least amount of talent. Like, if I'm looking at the Saints here, like, they went heavy this offseason. They went with, obviously, Travis Etienne comes with their running back situation.
Yep.
Obviously, they're kind of in a bridge year. But even you can see the Saints, like, sneakily, if they, like...
He's a Saints fan, so you're preaching
yeah,
to the choir.
like, Keenan Ellis is a great
I believe
signing.
they're the favorites to win the division, or close, last time I checked.
Yeah, like, even if I see the Panthers, obviously, they had re-signed Jalen Carter. Devin Lloyd, huge. That was huge. Jalen Phillips, even though I do think it's a bit of a reach with the money they gave him, still like
Plus, Vita Vea just requested a trade too.
And that Vita situation we've got to see, because this thing with defensive tackles is obviously like teams, like obviously we saw with Lawrence to the Bengals. Obviously, I think it was a first round pick, 10th pick they gave him.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So like obviously Vita
They're
Vea,
very valuable.
of course, but do you think Dexter Lawrence? Obviously, in my opinion, Dexter Lawrence is definitely better than Vita Vea. But if they get a second round pick, we could see possibly maybe a late first round from a good contending team.
The Saints just lost DT. I wish I wish Vita Vea wasn't in our division because it would make it a lot easier to potentially trade for him.
Yep, absolutely. I think the Saints do have capital to trade
I just
for Vita Vea, but I don't know if the Bucks would be willing to pull.
If it was the Minnesota Vikings, I would say be all over it.
Oh, Vikings for sure.
Yeah, like a random team, but like the fact that it's in division, I highly doubt that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If for some reason another solid defensive tackle becomes available, the Saints should be jumping on that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think like the DT is probably the one thing they do need. I think.
Well, yeah, especially now that they lost Brissy.
Yeah, Brissy's out for the year with Tony CL. I saw that today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to this topic. You were here for this. A clip posted on the account here got a lot of heat. Seahawks fans are on our head. In the media,
your head. Let's make this clear.
Yeah,
they're on your head.
They're coming for your head.
But there's also a lot of national media coverage that's not giving Seahawks the attention the fans think they deserve. So I'm going to let you go with this, Wyatt, because me and Ryan obviously already talked about this with Joey and I believe it was Carter. Mm-hmm. What do you think for the Seahawks? Do you think they're being disrespected as Super Bowl champs, or is it kind of a thing where everybody knows consensusly they won the Super Bowl last year and it probably won't happen again back-to-back considering what they lost?
I mean, I'm not saying they're my Super Bowl favorite, but like they're still one of the best teams in the league. They had the best defense in the league last year by, I thought, a pretty good margin. Plus, Sam Darnold, we've seen him be with the best receiver in the league a couple different times with Jefferson in Minnesota and now with JSN, or the arguable best receiver in the league. He can clearly make things happen. Kenneth Walker is the big loss everyone's talking about. Running backs do not have as big an impact as people often think, so I think it's more of a system thing. I don't think they also need to get elite running back play to still be a good team. If that defense is as good as it is, their floor is probably 10 wins. Like
with
that defense, and if their offense is average, they're probably going to win 12-13. I think this is still one of the... I would say with the Rams adding Garrett moved above them, obviously, but like they're probably the second best team.
You think the Seahawks are better than the Niners?
100%.
100%?
They, as I said this, they embarrassed the Niners twice at the end of the year last year, and the Niners did not really get better. The Niners do not move me a lot. Like they are, you're right, they're a solid team because of the coaching they have. That only gets you so far. When they run into other teams that are coached well and have way better rosters, we saw it, the Rams and the Seahawks, I think would both destroy them in a playoff game, just like we saw last year in Seattle.
Where do you stand?
The issue, I do agree with that. Obviously, the Seahawks fans were getting on your head last week about that. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, obviously, they did lose a lot of guys on defense. I know some guys were trying to say they're, like, for example, Rick Woolen, trying to say he's a fourth stringer. We saw last year.
That's
clearly,
not true, but...
Yeah, that's clearly just...
They lost Rick Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Ken Walker, and a great point that you made, Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, who made it all stick together for the Seahawks.
Everyone's overlooking that. He's the same guy that you watched on your Saints team averaged 30 points at the beginning of the week before everyone got hurt. That's before everyone got hurt, so he can put points on the board.
There's a little more
He's the guy that, like... put everything together on offense. Losing him, like, we can't just sit back here and go,
is it bad that
losing him might lose you 3 games in the regular season?
Maybe, but honestly, when I'm looking at the Seahawks, the offense is, I'm not going to say irrelevant, but matters way less to me. And that defense, I don't think that defense was elite because of good DBs. I think it's good because of good play calling, and the line and linebackers make it up way more.
I think any defense that has Mike Macdonald as their head coach,
the defense is set. We don't have to really argue on that.
Yeah.
It's more the offense.
My whole philosophy on this take, where people think I'm rage baiting, I have no ball knowledge. You lose your Super Bowl MVP and a mastermind offensive coach. You're gonna take a hit no matter what.
Okay,
that's fair. That's
what do you think Kenneth Walker's stats were last year?
No. Okay, they weren't eye popping because him and Charbonnet they basically split carries all throughout the year. And the playoffs, they fully let the leash loose on Kenneth Walker because Charbonnet had the ACL too against the Niners. So in the NFC Championship against the Rams, he went nuts because they relied on him. In the Super Bowl, he was obviously the Super Bowl MVP. We all know that. He coasted throughout the year. I'm not saying he was the best running back in the league, but when it mattered the most, they relied on Kenneth Walker in that offense because
fair.
JSN was getting bracketed left, right, and center, which, if I recall, he didn't do much in the Super Bowl.
No, he didn't.
No.
Mind you, Gonzalez was
more,
shadowing him the whole game, and he had a probably an all-time performance for a team that lost, but that's besides the point. I'm saying when you rely on a guy that much and it takes you to the Super Bowl and you lose him and the guy drawing up the plays for him is also out, it has to matter for something.
100%. I think just a lot of people are getting over the fact that obviously, yeah, he did win Super Bowl MVP, but the way the Seahawks played last year, they were clearly a two-back system.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kenneth Walker would drive down the field. Obviously, the memes with him getting to the 1 yard line, giving it to Charbonnet, obviously. I had a hot take when I was talking to a few of my boys who are Seahawks fans. I think Charbonnet's injury is more of a loss than Walker walking. I think obviously the Seahawks weren't comfortable giving him the money that the Chiefs gave him.
Yeah, because they can't use the two-back tandem now.
But even then, I think Charbonnet will probably be back, maybe...
Late. He might not be back even during the regular season. He tore his ACL in the divisional round. You're out.
But
that ACL's usually a year.
But even then, obviously Emmanuel Wilson's on a bad signing. We saw with Emmanuel Wilson when...
Jadarian Price.
And Jadarian Price. When Emmanuel Wilson was the lead running back when...
Jacobs went
down. He went off. I remember... Was there a game he had 3 touchdowns, I believe? Or... There was a game I know for sure he had 2. I think it was versus the Ravens. That went...
was it against the Ravens when Henry went nuts too?
Yeah, when Huntley went nuts as well. Emmanuel Wilson was a really good backup running back. And I could definitely see a situation where he has a good year with Jadarian Price, that little tandem right there. So, obviously, re-signing Rashid was huge for them. Obviously, he's more of a special teams guy. They don't use him crazy amount of offense unless it's a deep threat. I know we saw versus the Rams, that huge catch he had.
Baby Jamison Williams.
Exactly. Bobo's going to be huge for the running game. Obviously, he's more of a blocking wide receiver. Plays more of a tight end for them. But... yeah, obviously, I think the defense will be fine overall. Joshua Job was a good signing for them as well. Yeah, it's more of the offense, but I don't think they regress a crazy amount. You could see a fluke where they don't make the playoffs just because of how good the West is.
Yeah.
But I think the floor is maybe at most 10, 11 wins.
Yeah.
I could see a situation where maybe at 9 and they get in a wild card.
I've got 9 and 8 with them slightly missing the playoffs, and I think, like I said, the defense is going to win them games straight up. Joey said that too. The defense is probably going to steal them 3-4 games against bad teams where they get turnovers and all this, and the Seahawks home crowd plays a big advantage too.
When you have a defense that's just capable of pinning teams on their own side of the half, it's obviously the offense can only do so much, but it's that defense, man, with it's just I don't know, with Mike McDonald under the helm, that defense, it's just hard to rule them out, honestly.
I think teams that are going to be able to put up big points versus the Seahawks won't be able to compete with them. The Rams and the Seahawks, when they played, they got into shootouts. These weren't low-scoring games.
Absolutely.
I don't think with the Seahawks offense getting worse, I don't think they can compete in these big shootout type of games if the defense falls off here.
Oh, and if the defense, yeah.
I'm saying I don't think the Seahawks offense can't compete with the Rams in a gunslinging game back and forth. The Thursday night game where the Seahawks beat the Rams in Seattle.
Off that 2-point conversion, right?
Yeah. They were flying back and forth the whole game. I just don't see it happening again for the Seahawks. Do you have the Seahawks in the playoffs? I'm sorry?
Yeah.
You do? At what?
Yeah. Where are the Seahawks? 13-4.
13-4, okay.
Oh, you have them higher than me. I was giving them at most
I
11.
I have them and the Rams both at 13-4 in that division.
Okay.
I see a slight regression, but not a crazy one. I have them at around the 11 to 12 win mark. I could just see, obviously, with the offense. With the offense, you could definitely see some situations where they stall out, just because of regression. But yeah, I think it would have to be. I think a horrible year for them would be a 9-win situation where either they slightly get into the playoffs in a wild card or miss it. But obviously, it's the NFC, so it is a shootout.
I think the other part that's most overlooked is obviously elite defense and a pretty good offense last year. They also had the best special teams in the league.
Yep.
Shaheed was a huge acquisition.
But I mean, not just offensive special teams too. They have a very good kicker, and they're very good at containing teams.
Jason Myers can kick the ball.
Yes, and that is the special teams thing is that flips games. We saw that Rams game that they won. Shaheed returned a punt.
How about the game against the Niners, the divisional round? Rashid set the bitch off right away.
The game was over.
Kick return.
Game was over.
Yeah,
I think that literally. I think Seattle had earthquake warnings.
It was beastquake level noise.
Yeah, no. Like I said, that home crowd plays such a big advantage for the Seahawks. But this is just another fascinating story we're going to be able to follow because there's obvious controversy. People think the Seahawks are going to be back playoffs, NFC Championship, maybe Super Bowl. And there's people like me who think, listen, when you lose a coach in a Super Bowl MVP, it has to count for something, but there's only one thing that we can do. We got to see how the season plays out.
I think a sneaky thing, Seahawks fans, obviously I don't watch as much Seahawks or checking with them as much, but Eamon Rory was listed on their injury report.
He's on the PUP list, I'm
yeah,
pretty sure.
So we don't know what's going on. I haven't heard too much what's going on
He's
with him.
He's a massive piece for them.
If Eamon Rory.
Eamon
Yeah,
Rory,
he was on the
yeah.
PUP list, so...
He was a rookie last year,
yeah,
too.
and he
was a
played
stud.
out of his mind. I had him as my defensive rookie of the year. Obviously, Schwarzenegger played amazingly, so fair play to him. But we'll see how that plays. Obviously, hoping, just for a player in that league of his skill level, that it's not anything too serious. But if he's out for a little bit, let's say even is out for maybe like the first couple of weeks.
Mike McDonald likes to move him around, drop him in coverage, blitz him. He's physical. He hits hard.
We saw his blitz. I think Witherspoon. Sorry, but even Rory, like May was getting touched up. Obviously, that offensive line with Will Campbell was a little shaky. But when they send him in that blitz that the Seahawks like to run a lot of times,
it's hard to handle for any O-line.
Any O-line,
no team could handle that.
Yeah, that's
when you have Witherspoon just coming through a little gap there, there's nothing you can do
those
unless
nickel blitzes hit. Like crap.
I arguably have them up there. Even with the Bills, when it comes to their nickel blitzes, I don't know what you can really do there unless have an extra tight end there. To
I'm interested with that point. I want to see what the Bills defense looks like too. Kind of going away from that a little bit because Sean McDermott, he kind of failed as a head coach, but he was a defensive mastermind with the pieces that he had to work with. He played good zones. He blitzed when he needed to. He just didn't really have the talent. Von Miller, they signed a couple of years ago, was a total flop. Gregory Rousseau hasn't really lived up to his likings, but they got pieces. They got Maxwell Harrison, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They were fearful that he tore his Achilles, but it's just a low calf strain, which is big for them because as much as he talks messy, he sets the tone.
He's a tone setter.
He's good.
And he's good for the culture there. So
you want your safety to be annoying.
Yeah.
As an Eagles fan that was lucky to see him play for my team, he's the epitome of a guy that you hate to play against,
and you love him.
But you love him
Absolutely.
on your team.
And
He was
you've
a
had him
tone
on the
setter.
He'd
Saints
go
too.
out and get fucking punched and then get a receiver thrown out of the game after snatching his chain.
Yeah, him and Lattimore with the Saints were fun to watch. Absolutely. The epitome of just absolute rage bait.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
yapping.
But no, Seahawks, it's going to be a fun story to watch all year. And like we said, we're coming back to that video. If those Seahawks haters on me, if they flop out of the playoffs,
we'll see in January.
I'm going to be back on their head. Let's go into a little topic here. We talk a lot about coaches. We predicted Coach of the Year last week on the episode. Coaches' seats, hot, warm, cold. I'm going to give names of coaches on teams. You got to tell me if they're on the hot seat, if they're warm in a just right position, or if they're on the cold seat, no chance of getting fired. First name up, what I think is one of the hottest seats in the NFL. I'll start with you, Aleyab. Todd Bowles of the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Who some people thought should have been fired last year.
I've already said this before. I think he's easily gone after this year. I think it would have to take a Super Bowl run. Genuinely.
Yeah.
I think it's clear that the offense has staled out. I think they've arguably reached their peak unless they have a crazy year this year.
And he's a defensive coach too.
Yeah, and even then you saw that defense was getting peppered last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's only so much Baker could do, which I could definitely see lead his frustration when I remember a few games I watched the Bucs. It's just like, what the hell is going on with their defense? Anton Winfield, in my opinion, has regressed a little bit.
He has a little bit.
Since his contract extension. I think that
they lost Carlton Davis too to the Patriots. He's huge.
Yeah,
he's a shutdown man corner.
I think arguably
Jamel Dean's on the Steelers too this year.
Yeah, they've lost a lot on defense. Obviously, they did sign some more guys back. And then now with this Vita Vea situation, I think easily that seat is, I wouldn't even say sizzling. I think it is.
It's on fire right now.
It is on fire. I think this is probably his last year.
Can we agree this is in flames right now?
Oh yeah, for sure, really hot.
I'm trying to find the first coach fired odds. I'd imagine he's the favorite right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably him or Zach Taylor.
Yeah,
but if I told you Todd Bowles was fired by week 6, would you be surprised?
If they don't win a game 6 weeks in, he's gone.
I could arguably see him even. I could see a week 4 situation.
It depends how bad they are.
And I said it immediately. their biggest mistake was not upgrading Liam Cohen. That was their biggest mistake.
A topic I want to hear before you go here, Wyatt. The Buccaneers have had 2 head coaches now that are in the NFL who they should have let Bowles go for him. Number one, Dave Canales of the Panthers.
Absolutely. Yep.
He's a better head coach candidate than Todd Bowles. And number two, Liam Cohen. This was what I said before he got hired by the Jags. I thought Todd Bowles, even though that was when they had the playoff run, and so they're kind of like, we can't kick our head coach out. But sometimes this is a situation too with the Lions. Ben Johnson, everybody knew he was a better coach than Dan Campbell at the end of the day. Dan Campbell got them out of the mud. I get the whole story. I say this to Jay every single time. But everybody knew Ben Johnson was going to be the next big head coach, but it's hard to let go of your head coach and just promote a guy in there because you don't really know how it's going to turn out when you have some sort of stability.
But even in that situation with the Lions, it is a slight situation just because Dan Campbell had less years on than Boyles. But even then, obviously Canales was definitely coach, but whatever, it happens. You let guys walk. I said it immediately. The Liam Cohen one was criminal. That they did not. He was already on the hot seat at that point. Dan Campbell, it's fine. I can see it just because, obviously, he's a tone setter. He sets that organization apart from the rest of the league, and sets the culture. But with Todd Bowles, they don't really have a culture. They don't. I remember that Falcons loss when Kyle Pitts went off. He ripped into the team. And the locker room was just a mess. They lose to the Panthers.
The way they lost that division was embarrassing.
I
don't remember what it, but they had a huge lead, they got tracked down by the Panthers.
They lost. Yeah, 'cause they lost. I think the Falcons swept them. Actually, I believe they did.
Pitts went off in Atlanta because you had him on your fantasy team.
No, I think that was in Tampa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he had
when he went off.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns. I think he was the most points in fantasy for a tight end in a long time. But even then, the way they lost the division was up there with one of the most embarrassing ways. Obviously, just with the way he lost the locker room, Mike Evans was just going off on how the locker room was a mess. I think they did end up beating the Panthers, but by then it was done. The Panthers won Week 18.
Yeah,
and it was done. So he's clearly lost the locker room. I don't know why they didn't let him go this year, but. Even then, the Liam Cohen one was just a criminal. He should have immediately been up there.
Yeah. So we can all agree Todd Bowles is on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Moving to the next name here, I think this is kind of a fascinating candidate right here, and I want to see where you guys stand on him. Dan Quinn of the Washington Commanders. I'm going to start with you.
I'd say warm to cold, just because his GM hasn't given him a good roster to be able to blame it all on him. There's a difference out there when you have a good team. You have all the tools, you don't get them wins, okay, you're gone. But their offense is really going to be a struggle unless they find something. They have no wide receivers. They don't have a running back. It's going to be a carousel of who's going to be the guy this week, who's going to be the guy next week.
Bill Korski Merritt, and then they got Rashad White,
McLaurin. I think with the Commanders, it's weird because they went heavily on defense this summer. Obviously, they signed Leo Chanel. Adofe Awowe is a really good signing for them as well.
They drafted Sonny Styles.
Yeah, defensively they look good. The issue is just offensively. Obviously, you can't put too much on a coach when you're generational. In my opinion, I think Jerry Daniels, the generational quarterback, is injured for the majority of the year. They had that thing where they would bring him back. He had that nasty elbow injury where we thought.
Did he break his forearm? Was it?
I think it was a sprain, but it looked like that arm went back.
They brought him back. Too.
Yeah,
I think
they shut him down after that one because that one was just a nasty injury. Rashad White's gonna be a good signing for them. They can do a little bit of a same thing with the Seahawks with a little bit of a double running back situation.
Where would you say he sits? Hot, warm, cold?
I would have to say cold just because you can't punish a coach when a quarterback of that skill's out for that much of the year.
Yeah.
This year will set the tone of how we'll go into next year. I think they give him 2 more years realistically. But definitely they need to figure out this Ayuk situation. That will be key for them. Because if they can get Ayuk, they will be sneaky
think he
good.
Gets into the NFL?
You don't touch Ayuk with a 10-foot pole.
The issue, okay, obviously he is definitely. He might be I've seen this.
That guy
should
not. He should not be playing.
He might be the first.
Not even from a joke standpoint, but he should be.
From a mental situation
in somewhere
absolutely.
Getting treatment because he is.
He generally might be the first recorded case of an ACL giving you CTE. It's insane how he's acting. I think I saw recently he bought a $10 million house in Virginia.
Yeah, in Virginia.
That realtor needs to be locked up. That is criminal.
That realtor's yes, that's the easiest sell I've ever
that
had.
has to be some type of you are taking advantage of the disabled at that point. That is criminal that they allowed that purchase to go through. The Commanders though is just you need another wide receiver. So he's the best option and he wants to go to that team, but the way he's acting is fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
Like they gotta check it on him.
Where does Dan Quinn sit? Hot, warm, cold?
Lukewarm, I guess. Like, I don't think Ryan said, I don't think he's the reason they've had issues. Plus, I think that first season of Jaden Daniels gets you a little bit of...
Just move a bit up here.
I think that gets you a little bit of immunity when you do that with a team like the Commanders and bring them to a place they have not been for a really long time. So I think that'll buy him... That buys him probably at least a year of before any real conversations start. But
yeah, I'm going to go warm. I think he's in a spot where he's not freezing cold like this guy's our guy for the next 5-10 years. Yeah. And he's not a guy who can be fired. I don't think he can be fired this year. I think it wouldn't be fair to him.
Unless there's an absolute, like, dumpster fire,
yeah.
Then I don't see a world where he's fired this season.
Sure. Let's move to the next one. Aleyab, I'll let you start. Yep. Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni. Where do you sit with him?
See, I have a love-hate relationship with Nick Sirianni.
I feel like all Eagles fans do.
Sometimes I want this guy to absolutely be hung by a tree
at
times. But he just sets the culture, man. Like, I've said this before, the Eagles are definitely a team that rely a lot on coordinators a lot because I've said this before. When it comes to skill level of head coaches, I don't think Sirianni is elite compared to like other Super Bowl winning teams in the last few years. I would put him pretty low on that list. But then again, it's just like the culture he builds and guys love to play with him.
Do you think the players like him?
I think generally they do actually like him.
He'd be gone if they didn't.
Yeah,
I think
with
at least the important players like him. If Jalen Hurts didn't like him, I think he would have been gone.
Yeah, I'm compared to a lot of the league, I think Eagles fans, and I can say definitely are lucky that we have a front office that's competent. I would say.
I mean, more than competent.
Yeah, like
Howie Roseman, he's a
god. And Jeffrey Lurie, like they will, if things go wrong, they will absolutely pull the plug ahead of time. But yeah, man, I think with just the way the Eagles have been playing for the last few years, it's hard to say he's on a cold seat or a hot seat. I would say it's at most lukewarm, but I don't think it's anything more than that.
The thing with the Eagles and the Lions, like they're very coordinator reliant. Like they rely on guys to come in for a couple years, and then once they're amazing, they just go off as a head coaching position. In my opinion, I think Nick Sirianni is on the hot seat. I think if the Eagles miss the playoffs, he's gone. Because this year it was kind of a thing where it's like they lost to the Niners, they won the division.
Kevin puts a little tax though. You have to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We'll see if the offensive coordinator's bad this year. They have to take the blame out on Nick Sirianni. Like they can't just say, "This is the offensive coordinator again. Get rid of him again and bring in somebody new." That's why I think it's hot, because if the Eagles have a bad year, I think Nick Sirianni's the first person out the door. Do I have that in my predictions? We'll find out. But where do you stand with Nick Sirianni?
I'd say warm. They got their Super Bowl. They're still a good competitive team, so they'll always probably be in the playoffs or hovering around the playoff line. They should be in that division. But then again, it is the NFL. Anything can happen, so it could be they could get off to a rocky start. They're not happy. They think they can win the Super Bowl this year with a new coach. He could be gone. So I think he's in a warm spot.
What do you think, Wyatt?
I'd say it's so hard to say to form an opinion on this because I know the Philly fans are obviously going to be all over anyone the minute they're bad. They're, in my opinion, a little entitled. Like, you won a Super Bowl last year, calm down a little bit. But I do think you're right that if it's a bad year and they miss the playoffs, and honestly, even if they make the playoffs and lose to another team like the Niners, because they had no business losing to that version of the Niners with how injured they were, it wouldn't shock me at all if he gets fired. So I'll say it's a warm seat, but it's not hot.
Okay.
Just to add to that point, obviously, yeah, I can definitely see a situation where we have another Bucks or 49ers loss in the first round where things get spicy. I do think the A.J. Brown situation kind of did affect the locker room.
For sure.
Obviously, there's some hearsay of what went down. Obviously, there was the rumors with, I forgot who it was. I think it was Josh Sweat, maybe, or possibly, or Hassan Reddick, something about a cheating allegation that was going around.
I forgot.
I think it was something to do with
Hassan Reddick saga in Philly was weird.
But even then, they were quick to be like, no, we're not giving you this money. If not, we'll trade you. He was out the door pretty quickly to the Jets, and that third round pick.
Then he held out with the Jets, and then didn't do anything since.
Exactly, but there's obviously some hearsay if it was him and Jalen Hurts' relationship or the Hassan thing that led over into this season. But yeah, I think just with that, it just depends on how bad of a situation the Eagles get this year. But I'm pretty high on Sean Mannon as our new offensive coordinator. But yeah, definitely, I could definitely see a situation where if we miss the playoffs, yeah, I could agree with Wyatt. I think he might be at the door if we miss the playoffs. But if second round playoff exit, he'll be good.
Next name, New York Jets, Aaron Glenn. Because this is a situation where we know the Jets are going to be bad. Do they fire him after this year and bring in somebody new to come in with a quarterback that we suppose they're going to draft? Or do we say, hey, Aaron Glenn, we know you're the guy for the future. We're going to be bad this year, but next year when we get our rookie QB, this is kind of your start here.
See, with the Jets, it's hard, man, because obviously now you have Geno coming in as a bridge quarterback. Obviously, they'll probably be a top 5 pick next year with that quarterback class. Obviously, will be a good refresh for the Jets, but with Glenn, it's just hard because it's just clearly he's obviously a more defensive-minded coach, obviously with the Lions and now with the Jets.
Frank Reich now the OC too.
Exactly. Yeah, like I think I could see them maybe at their ceiling is at most maybe 6 wins.
Yeah, probably.
So like, it's hard. It's hard. The issue with them too is like even last year I think like I totally forget who's the owner of the Jets again. Is it
Woody Johnson?
Woody Johnson, yeah. Like he was talking hot like the last couple of years.
What is he?
Like,
doesn't he own Pfizer or something like that?
So yeah, one of those companies. But he's clearly willing to fire coaches consistently. I just think it would be pretty harsh.
I mean, at the end of the day, what can you do if you're the Jets, right?
The only issue with the Jets last year was pretty criminal when you have Aaron Glenn as your head coach and you finished the year with 0 interceptions. Yeah. Pretty criminal, if I'm being completely honest. But
I'm going to say for Aaron Glenn that he's on the hot seat just because I think Woody Johnson's looking at the philosophy like this year we know we're going to be bad, and next year if we know some big head coaching candidates pop up, we're going to take a young offensive-minded coach to come in and kind of tutor the young quarterback that we bring in. And the Jets added Demario Davis. They added Minkah Fitzpatrick. They have young talent, and they got a bunch of first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. So they could be looking in a direction where this is a bad year. They finally get their franchise quarterback, and they reset everything. As a division, I don't want to call it rival because the Jets really haven't been much, but as a Dolphins fan, what do you think the Jets are looking for here? Is he on the warm, hot, or cold seat in your opinion?
I think he's on the hot seat because the Jets want to be bad this year. There's really no reason why you want to win any games. You want to get a top pick because I actually think they have 3 first-round picks this year, right? One for Quinnen Williams and then one for Sauce.
So you have a loaded draft class.
So you have 3 first-round picks, so you do not want to be good at all. So I feel like it'll be a case like you just said. You're bad on purpose, and obviously Aaron Glenn, like the defense was not good last year, so you can just get rid of him completely after this year, refresh with a new young coach with a whole new team, and then go from there.
Who's their GM, the Jets? I always forget.
Here,
can we search that? Because I think he's been the same GM for a while.
Aaron Moogie.
Yeah.
Okay, no, they fired
what's his name?
Their guy when they had Rodgers. Oh my god.
I'm totally blanking on his name, but he had a whole.
Oh wait, sorry. That's the Winnipeg Jets.
Hold on. Do they still have the same?
No, Darren Mogi is the he's the GM.
Who's the old Jets GM? I remember. I can picture this guy's face right now, but I can't put a name to it.
Here.
Oh my god. Because he made some aggressive moves. Joe Douglas.
Yes.
I knew it because he was like. He would always be in conversation because he went out and got Adams. He pulled Rodgers. He did all this crazy shit.
He was horrible.
And, so
but
he's out the door.
Adding what you're saying about the Jets' additions this summer, it's looking like, I think, honestly, it will depend heavily on defense. They added a lot on defense. Obviously, they traded away Jermaine Johnson, but got T'Vondre Sweat, which will be good.
Geno Smith's so bad, though. Like, I don't expect anything from this offense.
I think, honestly, Aaron Glenn's position will rely on how well that defense plays. Yeah. They've clearly added a lot of guys on defense to see how he'll play.
Like, if the defense can be
competent,
in the top half in the league, I think he can stay. But you got Geno Smith, you got Breece Hall, you have a very good O-line too. Their tackles are Membu and
the one guy from Penn State,
Olu Fashanu.
Like, that's a generational tackle duo there. Breece Hall, Omar Cooper Jr. in the first or second round this year. Out of Indiana.
Late second. Or late first.
And then they traded for Adonai Mitchell when they got rid of Sauce.
They have
Garrett Wilson.
What's the tight end from Oregon? Blanking on his name.
Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah, Kenyon Sadiq. Yeah,
these are like decent weapons. Like, they have a good offense. It looks like they just need a quarterback to come in because I don't trust Geno Smith at all after what I saw with the Raiders.
The issue with them, though, is the fact that they want to be bad. So it's like...
That's why they brought in Geno Smith.
And it's hard to be bad
Good
without...
call.
It's pretty hard to be bad without, like, a bad defense.
Yeah.
So it's hard because like, I do think that how well that defense plays is going to be either make or break for Glenn's job. So that's why I would say it is the hot seat. But I can see a situation where they're bad, but they have let's say a top 15 defense. Even let's say like a 14th, 15th ranked defense, he could probably arguably stay on as the coach. Hot take, if let's say I think McDermott's not going to be back this year, he's taking a break. Do they go and get McDermott? I don't know if McDermott will go in the same division, but they could go.
Now he's fired. I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, he could be a candidate next summer as well.
Yeah.
Hot take, Mike Brown. Oh no, Mike Brown. I'm totally blanking on his name.
Who from where?
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin.
Do you think he comes back, or do you think he just takes a desk job?
I don't
at
know.
CBS.
Maybe
or...
college. Maybe college.
Mike Tomlin will do what Sean Payton did. He'll go on TV for a year, then get a cut.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is he on CBS this summer? Or this
I want to
summer?
say NBC.
NBC. He's on one of them. I know for sure he got signed.
It's either, I forget if it's NBC or Fox, but I'm pretty sure.
Because I think he took a break. Yeah.
Let's do a couple more names because we got to get to the division predictions and offensive rookie of the year too. Detroit Lions with Dan Campbell. Where do we stand, Aleyab?
I think you just have to put at most again lukewarm. They did lose a lot. Did they lose a lot of pieces? Let's see here.
Well, they lost Montgomery.
Yes.
Frank Ragnow retired.
They didn't bring back or sign Pacheco, so that would be a decent signing. Tyler Conklin for tight end. Jack Campbell they did.
Well, they also have Sam Laporta coming back.
Actually, you're right. I don't think they did much this summer.
Really.
Not really. Yeah.
I mean, they've not like they're.
Terrion Arnold's gone. Brian Branch is coming off an Achilles, I believe.
I think he's out for the year. I don't see a situation where he comes back anytime soon. Like on their other safety's name,
Kirby Joseph. He's saying his career's done.
He looks cooked.
So yeah, the Lions defense doesn't have much. I've been on the record. I think Dan Campbell. I think this is his last year in Detroit, especially with a stacked division. If they fall to the playoffs, he's out of there. But Lions fans, they have such a emotional relationship with Dan Campbell where none of the fans can admit that they want him fired because the Lions were nothing post-COVID, right?
Yep.
They were absolutely nothing. They bring in Dan Campbell. He changed the culture for that team, but it just seems like he cannot get them over the hump. I think he is one of the hottest seats in the NFL.
You have to remember, too,
I think it's lukewarm. The reason they've been bad the last 2 years is because, quite literally, every single decent player on their defense got hurt. Last year, everybody besides Hutchinson was hurt, and they couldn't stop a nosebleed. They've for the last 3 years, even without Ben Johnson, their offense was still really good last year and very efficient.
The issue will never be the offense with the
No,
offense.
Exactly. Like if they have a decent defense, they should be a solid team. But if I don't know, I always say you can't predict injuries. Like if they're healthy, do I think their defense is Seattle? No, but I think it's a lot better than what we've seen the last 2 years at the end of the season. So if they can somehow get a year where they don't lose all their defensive players, they're a solid team. I think for Dan Campbell to be fired, it would have to be a disaster season for them.
And I think for the Lions, I think for them to win the division, they need Aiden Hutchinson to have a defensive player of the year type of year. He's got to be a monster. He's got to carry that defense. He's the vet now. He's the captain of that defense. He's got to show out for them. Him and Jack Campbell. That's probably the backbone of that defense. Hot, warm, cold? I think it's warm. Their offense will just be in every game. They'll always be in a shootout. So I think they'll still make the playoffs and they'll keep them around just because they have been getting unlucky the past couple of years. But you just got to stay healthy. You can't predict injuries, but as long as they're healthy, I think they should be fine. Okay. Last name, pretty consensus probably. Wyatt, I'll start with you. I know how you feel about him. I feel the same way. Zach Taylor, Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah. Is this hotter than Todd Bowles?
No, I think it's second hottest seat aside from Todd Bowles, but I think very hot.
Can we all agree on this?
I
thought it was a complete shock that he wasn't fired last year.
I think
the only
like you said, cheap owner. They won't fire the coach, and Joe Burrow rode out for him.
Yeah, I think it's purely if Joe Burrow, same as I said with Sirianni, if Joe Burrow wanted him gone, he'd be gone.
Fair.
I will give the front office fair play. They did address the defense a lot this summer. Bowie Maffei, Dexter Lawrence, Jonathan Allen, sneaky good signing. Obviously, he's regressed a little bit. Kyle Duggar's a good safety signing. Brian Cook, but then again, it's just it was a very last minute thing with him. We didn't know if he was generally going to be the coach going into this year.
Yeah.
They keep him on last minute. I'm with Wyatt. He's probably the second hottest seat in the league easily.
I agree. Let's move to some predictions, okay? Ryan, I'll start with you. Lead us off here. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Carnell Tate from the Tennessee Titans. I feel like they finally got my boy Cam Ward, a receiver. I feel like that connection is going to be awesome. Two young good college kids. So I feel like Carnell Tate, the sky's the limit for him in this offense. I feel like it's going to be maybe a couple weeks into the year. It'll be centered around him, and he's a franchise talent.
I'll go second because I got the same thing. Carnell Tate. Cam Ward, Carnell Tate, and probably one of the best OCs that's staffed right now, Brian Daboll. I thought he never should have been fired from the Giants. I think he's an excellent head coach. Now he comes into a coordinator role behind Robert Saleh. I think they're going to work hand in hand. Defense, Saleh. Offense, Brian Daboll. You got two worthy head coaches. Robert Saleh gets his kind of revenge here at a second head coaching stint, which he totally deserves after being a monster defensive coordinator for the Niners before and after his Jets stint. The Jets one, I kind of write that off for him, and I'm going to give him a clean start here, as everybody should, I think. I like the Titans this year a lot, and I think Carnell Tate. Cam Ward had a couple decent receivers. Chamir Dyke.
DK, Alec, Ale
Manor, and then Calvin Ridley. Now you bring in Carnell Tate. You also have Wan'Dale Robinson, but I think Carnell Tate's going to show people, listen, I'm the wide receiver one.
He'll be
Cam
that true
Ward,
X.
we're going to tear it up. Let's go in Tennessee. I'm big on the Titans this year, and I love this pick, and I'm expecting big things. Ohio State can't go wrong with a receiver.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking at the offensive rankings here that I had, and then what the NFL was saying. Like, it's hard not to look at Carnell Tate. Originally, it was really high on Jeremiah Love. Issue with this, running backs in the Cardinals will be playing behind in a lot of games.
That running back room too is crowded.
Yeah, so it's like
Algier, James Conner.
Yeah, I don't think.
Love.
I know a lot of people are on him heavy, but if you're playing behind,
we talked about this in the NFC West too. We compared him to Ashton Genty. When the Raiders were down all these games, Genty's not getting carries and plays.
You're not running the ball when you're behind.
That's the problem where Jeremiah Love's the favorite, but I don't think he should be.
Him and Mendoza are tied as the favorite. Yeah.
Who's your offensive rookie of the year?
Homer pick, but I'm taking the other receiver. I'm going Jordan Tyson. I think a lot of people think he was the best receiver in the draft, and I don't necessarily disagree, but Tate was probably the safer pick given the injury history. But just stat for stat, who's better? I think Tyson probably is, but they're kind of different types of receivers. I just think Tate gets a little bit of a boost because he was, one, at Ohio State. They have the reputation for receivers and on really good Ohio State teams.
Yeah.
And even then, like my pick is either one of the three wide receivers. I slightly put it to Tate. I have, obviously, bias. I have Mekhi Lemon number 2. Only with Tyson issues, I think purely skill-wise, I think Tyson is the best wide receiver in the class.
Okay.
The issue is, obviously, he's still clearly injured. Like, they were going very light with him in training camp and rookie camp. So, obviously, the injury thing will be a big issue. Obviously, and also, he has Olave right next to him, just got a big contract.
And
so,
if he stays healthy, he's, like you say, he could be top 10 combos easy.
Mendoza will depend if Kubiak is serious about starting Cousins. But obviously, then again, they don't have a wide receiver. They don't have wide receiver. It'll be hard for them.
I think Brady's going to play a role, too, in who starts there. I think,
absolutely.
Listen, I'm a big believer on young quarterbacks sitting for a bit.
Yep.
And like what Drake May did with the Patriots. Brissett started half the season. Drake May came into the back end of the season.
Yeah.
Raiders, you're probably not going to go to the playoffs with the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs above you, and you're not going to win the Super Bowl. Let Mendoza learn, ease him in, let him get a couple starts, and then get him ready for next year.
That makes it hard to win Rookie of the Year, though, if you're not
starting. Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't have Mendoza anywhere near just because realistically I don't see him starting.
And Kirk Cousins can give good stability for the Raiders.
Exactly.
Like for the young talent, he'll get Bowers the ball. Genty will get his handoffs.
Yep.
You saw it last year. Like if Show starts 2-3 more games, he probably wins Rookie of the Year.
Well, he tore it up when he came in.
Yeah. Like if he started more games, he.
Who won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year?
I think we did this on the last show. Oh my God.
No, the Defensive Rookie of the Year was Carson Schwarzenegger. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Totally blanking.
Who was the
Tet?
Yeah, Tet.
Tet McMillan. Yeah, he had a good year. So
yeah, he had a great year.
Abuka was like looking like he was gonna run away, and then he fell off the planet.
Your pick right now, if you were to,
I'd probably have to. As much as I want to say Mekhi Lemon, I would have to lean Colonel Tate. His
Colonel
situation
Tate.
looks
So
so
we got
great.
all receivers here.
He looks
Tate,
so great.
Tate, Jordan Tyson, defensive rookie of the year. Let's hear it.
Well, we'll get into this. This will factor into my prediction a little
Sure.
later, but I'm going to go with Arvell Reese from the Giants.
Okay.
As I said, watched a bunch of Ohio State, and he looked like a freak on Ohio State, and he's getting put onto a defense that is already really good. So it's not like teams are going to be able to really game plan against him because there's other guys they have to worry about. I think he's going to put up really good numbers on a team that's going to have one of the better defenses in the league, I think. So
Yeah.
I think Arvell Reese.
Speaking of that topic, too, I'm surprised, like, we're going to talk about this a little bit more. I'm surprised they didn't move off Kayvon Thibodeau for, like, a 3rd or 4th round pick. Because you got Abdul Carter, you got Arvell Reese, like, you have Brian Burns, too. Like, do you really need Kayvon Thibodeau? Like, he's not going to play that much off the ball as a linebacker. He can't move like that. So, it'll be interesting. I think if they see something in Arvell Reese off rip, they're going to give him the run he deserves. Who do you have defensive rookie of the year?
Yeah, so I have 2 sneaky names. So my first sneaky name is Jacob Rodriguez for the Dolphins. Last year, you clearly saw with Brooks how well he played at linebacker. So obviously, they have a really good system with their linebackers. Obviously, with the Dolphins, they're going to be horrible next year. But if that defense is somewhat competent, and I can see Jacob Rodriguez having, obviously, Schweinsteiger had less of a hype going into the draft, obviously. But if Jacob Rodriguez has a really good year, I could see that. A really obvious one, obviously, is Ruben Bain. He's in a great situation in Tampa. He looks great. My pick is Sonny Styles, honestly.
Yeah? That's your pick?
Texans just re-signed Jadeveon Clowney. I'm just laughing about it.
Oh, they just did? Wow.
Okay, so your pick is Sonny Styles?
Yeah, I have Sonny Styles.
Okay, I'll go second because my pick's also Sonny Styles from Ohio State. Dan Quinn, like we just talked about, he's a great defensive coach. They added a lot of defensive pieces. They're going to hopefully that defense can support Daniels if he stays healthy. Sonny Styles' measurables were off the charts. I think they were like breaking NFL history. Left,
I think
right,
he was
and
top
center.
2, yeah.
Him playing in the middle of that defense, replacing Bobby Wagner, who was on the Commanders there for a bit. I think he's going to be big time for them, and I think his way to kind of put his stamp on defensive rookie of the year, you got to be up there top 5 in tackles, maybe a couple TFLs, and force fumbles. Like you got to be a playmaker on the ball.
He can definitely be a situation where like, they play him off on ball and like off the edge coming in. Obviously, that they do have Leo Chanel that they did sign. So
he's good too.
How are you like? It's either one or the other. You cannot stop both. Realistically speaking, obviously Leo Chanel kind of regressed a little bit, but still, like Sonny Styles, man, he's in a really good situation.
It's a good pick for the Commanders.
Absolutely.
What are you looking at here?
I got Jacob Rodriguez from the Dolphins.
Okay.
I thought we were going to go for the Ohio State sweep, and he was going to say Caleb Downs.
No, their defense is going to be better than people
That's
are
probably
giving
who Joey
him
would
credit
have
for.
picked if he was here.
It's just-
Absolutely.
On him, it's hard to win as a safety though, because like the stats you need to put up. He's amazing, and I almost put him, but it's just hard to do it as a DB because like you have to get a lot of picks.
But Cowboys will definitely.
Yeah.
I think they will emulate what the Seahawks did with Eamon Laurie, where you'll see him a lot linebacker. You'll see him a lot.
And this is
blitzing.
Caleb Downs. They're looking at him to be the next Kyle Hamilton. But
Obviously, yeah.
talk to me more about Jacob Rodriguez on your favorite team.
All my favorite teams. I feel like their defense is going to be better than people give them credit for. They're actually going to be a decent team, and they're bringing in a defensive coach from the Packers. So like that, you could see with the way that their Jordan Brooks played last year on the Dolphins, and then you put Rodriguez right beside him, both from Texas Tech. They both know how to play the linebacker role. There's going to be a lot of heavy hits from those two in the middle, and he's going to force a lot of fumbles. I feel like it's going to be the same as the Carson dude from the Browns.
That's what I'm saying. He was on a bad team.
Exactly.
Too,
Bad team.
won.
He'll always be on the field. He's going to be getting a lot of tackles. A lot of plays are going to be left on the field for him to make. So Jacob Rodriguez is the type of dude to peanut punch. He will force those fumbles.
He was
so
a beast.
he
was in
will
Heisman talks
Yes,
at
he was.
last year.
I said a lot with like some of my friends. I had him up until the end. I had him top 2. I had him for a large stretch Heisman winning.
He
Obviously,
was in those conversations.
He
like,
knows how to play the
legitimately.
game. He
Yeah.
knows what to do, and he'll be
It's a
making
great
plays
pick,
all
man.
over the field.
It's a
Yes.
great pick by the Dolphins, and they got Kenneth Grant too. That Dolphins defense, man,
It's
it's
gonna be-
sneaky.
yes.
the thing
It'll
is
be
too.
good.
Obviously,
It'll be good.
Schwarzenegger was in a better situation with the Browns defense because obviously the Browns always
They
have
fly around.
They
the
fly
ball.
exactly, but he's right. He's the absolute peanut puncher. You will see a lot of turnovers for that Dolphins team.
So Sonny, Jacob Rodriguez, and
Arvell Reese.
Arvell Reese. Good picks. Let's get into the good stuff, okay? NFC East predictions. One of the better divisions in football overall. I'll lead it off with the NFC East fan himself, who's coming in at number 4.
So-
give me the record, and then
Yeah.
give me the division record.
Perfect. So Obviously, as an Eagles fan, I have to put us number one, which is situation.
Hold on.
No,
Start
start at 4.
Start from 4.
Okay,
Start from
4.
4. Start from 4. Start from 4.
Unfortunately, I do have the Giants at 4.
Yeah.
I think I had them on my phone here, somewhere on my phone, but I did have them number 4. They won't be as bad as they were last year. They'll definitely have a good year. Just the NFC is just so hard. I think the prediction, I think I had them at 7 wins.
7 and 10, okay.
Yeah, around there. 4 Commanders. It could be a flop with the Giants too, as well. Commanders probably the same thing, 7 and 10, maybe 6 wins.
Okay, we'll do this though. We'll go. You go 4.
Yeah,
we all go 4 round.
Yeah, 4.
We'll go 3
So
round,
Giants.
2 round. Okay, Giants at number 4. Number 4 for you.
I got the Commanders at 6 and 11. Their offense is just going to be a major problem. I can't, looking at their schedule, they actually have a tough schedule too, so I can't see them being
This
able to.
division's hard. They play both the West.
They do play really hard
As
teams.
Gilly
So,
says, the Bommanders.
Yeah,
so I can't see them. Obviously, I feel like their ceiling could be 8 wins, but I have them at 6. I can't see them winning more than 6. Just there's been too many issues. Your quarterback, you got to keep him healthy, and until because Terry McLaurin's just been he's been the same guy forever. He just has been your number one, just hanging around, hasn't been able to do a whole
The
lot.
wheels are bound to fall off on that too.
Exactly.
I think.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't have a solidified number one running back coming into the year, and then your wide receiver 2 is up in the air. So
It's
going
gonna
to
rely on Daniels,
yes,
man.
Yes, and their offensive line isn't the greatest.
So-
either.
The first year of Daniels, he didn't have insane yards. He was just a scoring machine that year because he had I'm looking at he had 13 touchdowns.
So for me, every year I kind of have a prediction when I go through my schedule and look at all the teams when I'm, done in a hole. And I go, I could be very wrong about this prediction.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of them, but this is just how my schedule shakes out. New York Giants, 8 and 9, 2 and 4 in the division. Jackson Dart could be primed for a breakout year. Scadaboo looks to be coming back healthy. Malik Neighbors, good, decent O-line that's gotten better. You have a great coach coming in, John Harbaugh. He gives the Giants a great floor, which has me a little bit concerned why I have them under 500. But for me, this division's too competitive, and I kind of just rank Daniels over Dart, and I think his upside brings a bit more to the table for them to finish over the Giants. But for me, the Giants 8 and 9, 2 and 4 in the division. They usually can't win games against the Cowboys and Eagles too, so it makes it tough for me to have them high. Who do you have number 4?
Commanders at 8 and 9. I think this is going to be.
And you're high on Daniels.
It
too.
is. That's not a Jane Daniels thing. I think, as you said, the offense is not good, and I don't know if the defense is that good either. But I just think they're a team. They'll be solid. They will have some solid wins this year.
Yeah, go to the wall.
They're just not going to be able to win as many big games as they would need to compete in this division. So they're going to be basically a 500 team, I think.
Yeah, I find it crazy how Jane Daniels' rookie year, we were talking about maybe the Commanders are going to be the next team. Like, if they keep building up, they're going to be awesome. And then now we're seeing
Well, I mean,
They were giving off very much like
they had
Lions
some sick
vibes.
vibes, and then all of a sudden now we're here.
I mean, who knows? Like, the year they went off, no one predicted. If he's healthy and he's the same guy,
the
like
NFL
maybe
isn't
they
really predictable.
Like, if he's healthy and he's the same guy he was rookie year, maybe they do win another playoff game. Like,
Yeah. I might low key switch my picker. I might have Commanders going around that like 8 to 7 at the bottom, just because I think the NFC East will definitely be better, much better than it was last year. But yeah, I'll probably switch mine. I'll probably put
And their
Commanders.
schedule is
at the
so
bottom.
hard.
yeah,
man.
because all these teams
we
got to
see
play
their schedule here,
they got to play the AFC and NFC West. And like the NFC West, obviously really good. The AFC West doesn't really have like the top end talent, but that's just a solid division all the way
Yeah,
around.
because I can't see the Commanders beating the Rams, Seahawks, 49ers. So that's 3 losses, and then in the division they won't beat the Eagles, Cowboys.
Yeah.
I have them beating the Niners, but yeah.
Week 1 Eagles is a loss. Cowboys could be a
They got
toss
the
up.
Texans in there. Yeah.
I could see I would put the Commanders at the bottom, but they won't be horrible, but definitely will be hard for them to see.
Yeah,
them get in
an
the
8 and
playoffs.
9 4 seed in spot in the division is actually
It's
pretty.
tough.
That's tough to do. But
If they finish last
Yeah.
and they're in at least
they
have a slight chance at the wild card, that would be an okay year.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So number 3, did you give yours?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
so I switched mine. I have the Commanders at 4. Realistically, now looking at it, I would bump up the Giants a bit, and I would put them around. I'd probably see the 8. I can see them getting 8 here.
Okay.
9.
Yeah, I would have them at 8 and 9. Yeah.
What do you got?
I have the Giants at 7 and 10. Definitely can win more than 7 games, but I just feel like they can't beat the Eagles, they can't beat the Cowboys, and they play too many tough teams out of division that I can't sit here and go, yes, they do have a great defense, and they have a sneakily good offense. Coach is great, but like I feel like they're one of the teams that could be too overlooked going into the year, and they could like not win as many games as people think.
Yeah. For me, number 3 in the division, Commanders, 9-8, over 500, 3-3, but not enough to get into the playoffs. I just think they're going to be up and down with injuries. They're going to be battling for a wild card, and at the end of the day, they won't be able to squeak it out. And then for the Commanders missing the playoffs, if Jaden Daniels has a good year, but he's not consistently healthy, they're going to have to figure stuff out with the O-line. They're going to have to figure stuff out with the run game. The defense will probably be fine, but for me, it's going to be about getting a receiver next year, and it's going to be getting a solidified number 1 running back for me.
If he's good and the team isn't, is there any chance he might want out?
Depending on the extension, what they're going to offer him, because Drake May's going to get paid.
Daniels,
Caleb Williams is going to get paid.
Yeah, because that's a team that is also notoriously cheap.
Yeah.
But new ownership. Which is fair.
New ownership as well.
Cliff Kingsbury, is he still the OC of the Commanders, or did he leave?
I think he's still there, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he's still there, yeah.
No,
he left. They're doing, David
Blow.
Blow. I forgot about that.
Okay, so Commanders for Cliff Kingsbury was big for Jaden Daniels.
Absolutely,
Yeah, well, they had the connection
Number 3 in the
already.
division, 9-8, 3-3. 3-3 in the division for me too. 3's all around for the Commanders.
My number 3, I actually have the Cowboys at 9-8 and 3-3 in the division as well.
Talk to me.
With some Cowboys fans heated.
Their defense was god awful last year. I don't think it's going to be that bad again.
So they picked up Rashawn Gary.
They
drafted Caleb Downs.
They're going to be a better defense. I still think they're going to be a bad defense, though. They're not going to be dead last, but I think last year they were what we talked about. They were literally the Lions, basically. They were the
worse.
They were another new version of the Lions.
The offense
where they had,
was putting up generational numbers.
Super high-powered, high-flying. They were probably the most fun team in the league to watch on TV
For
last
sure.
year. Just
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
every game, like I remember, I think it was week 2, that insane
Giants
shootout
game?
with the Giants with Russell Wilson of all people.
Yeah. In AT&T Stadium.
Yeah,
yes.
I've never seen a team give up that many deep balls in a game in a long while. That was pretty ridiculous.
And the DC on that team is
Christian Parker, that snake.
Oh yeah, he left the Eagles to come to the Cowboys.
Shameless hire.
Okay, so number 2, obviously.
Yeah. I have Cowboys at number 2. I think I had them at max 10 wins, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that a playoff team for you?
I think they sneak into the wild card, but don't get past the wild card.
Okay. Ryan, number 2.
The Cowboys at 10-7, missing the playoffs. The Cowboys, I feel like
Water in that fridge?
their ceiling is definitely, I think, I have them at 10-7, so their ceiling is definitely higher than that. I think 12 wins. Their offensive line is younger, gaining experience as the years go on. It's going to be solid. Their offense is coming back. They tagged George Pickens, so he's coming back, still going to be a threat. Their offense is going to put up points. To me, it's just, I don't know if their cornerbacks are going to be able to hold their own.
That's my biggest worry, too.
And not give up the amount of points that they did last year, because they got Quinnen Williams on the D-line, good. They got Rashawn Gary. Their defensive line, I think, is going to be fine. Demarion Overshawn coming back fully healthy
big,
from game 1. But to me, it's their corners. I don't know if their corners can hold, and having weak corners is a major issue.
That's been their problem for a while.
Because you're going to have to get pressure early and just send a house so that it relieves pressure on your corners and you can get home. But I just don't see them getting.
I'll add just quickly on the cornerbacks. They only signed Kobe Durant and Darion Kendrick. That's
they got that Ravel dude from East Carolina who was hurt, but now they're hoping because they used a pretty premium pick on him for being hurt.
Yeah.
So I think this is the year they got to hope that he comes in and is your guy, but I don't know if
I think Jalen Thompson will be huge for them as well. I think him and
Overshawn?
Because he'll play safety, so him and
Caleb Downs
will be huge. He'll help bridge that gap, the NFL gap with
Caleb Downs will help the Cowboys secondary.
Absolutely, but even then, that cornerback situation is scary.
So for me, number 2, I have the Cowboys 10-7, 3-3 in the division. Like the Commanders, I have the Cowboys sneaking in at the 7 seed here in the NFC at 10-7. I think that they upgrade the defense enough where they can sneak into the wild card. The offense is going to be high flying like it is.
Yep.
They could even be even better with George Pickens year 2 now, playing for a big contract now too because he's on the franchise tag. I think the defense got good enough just a bit where they're going to be able to be in competitive games and compete in a playoff game for me. Dallas Cowboys sneak in.
And like how you're saying with the defense, it's just that cornerback situation because their edges are good. You have Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and now Rashawn Gary. That's going to be big. Like they'll be able to get pressure on the quarterback. It's just can the cornerbacks literally just hold their own?
Yeah.
We've seen for the last 2 years they haven't been able to. Obviously now they're off of Diggs. This is going to be a make or break year for Bland. if he plays the way he played last year, he's out.
Yeah, he's out.
I could see him being a candidate to get released by like trade deadline.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't see them trading him if he plays good, but like if he's plays anyway the way he played last year, obviously he was injured for a decent amount, but the way he was playing last year, if he will be a major release candidate.
Number 2.
My number 2, I have the Giants at 10-7 and grabbing the 7 seed and getting
Okay,
the playoffs.
I like it.
I think this is a team. We got to see Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors for one drive last year.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chargers game. It was Dart's first game, and he had that rushing. I believe like 1.5. He had that first drive where he had the rushing touchdown, and did that weird dance.
They won that game.
Yeah, they
Yes.
did. And then it was second drive, and Neighbors got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we never really got to see that. We saw they clearly have a running back, if he can stay healthy, in Cam Skydabo, who's a nightmare for good defense to deal with.
He looks healthy. I'm pretty sure he'll
I
be
mean,
healthy this year.
like I remember he ran all over the Eagles that game. He did a lot against the Chiefs on that primetime game. He seems to be solid. Plus, they're adding what I think is one of the best coaches in the league and has been for a long time. And they already had a very good defense, and they probably made it better this year, as I mentioned earlier with Arvell Reese and some of their moves. So I think this is a team that's going to be. They're gonna be making some noise in the NFC this year and be one of the surprises. I think
the wide receiver room for them without Neighbors is kind of scary. Wendell Robinson is a huge loss. They added Odell Beckham. I don't know if he'll even touch the field. Darnell Mooney's a good signing.
He's decent too.
Juju will be definitely play a situation where
Slot receiver.
slot receiver, or like a blocking wide receiver. Isaiah Likely will be huge for them.
Huge.
I think
Huge. Absolutely.
If they're gonna be as good as I say, it's gonna be mainly because of their defense.
Oh, absolutely. They signed
And listen,
good guys.
Dart, listen, we got to talk about QBs taking a leap too. Jackson Dart could be one of these guys where if he has a big year, this is a playoff team. Because he'll be competing with the Cowboys. He'll be competing against these big teams.
Or he's out for the year with a concussion and gets absolutely drilled the way he runs.
For sure.
It could be that as well.
Number 1.
Fly, Eagles, fly. I have the Eagles winning the division. I have them sneakily. I have them as a 12-team win.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be huge this year. I think if I go to our additions here, obviously wide receiver room was absolutely, we went heavy with that. Elijah Moore, Dontavian Wicks, Marquise Brown, they'll be good. Mekhi Lemon will be huge I think he'll be more of a slot receiver. I think this year is going to be truly Devontae Smith's team in that wide receiver room as a true X.
There's a lot of people that believe Devonta Smith can be a wide receiver. The talent's inevitable.
I've said easily he starts as a wide receiver 1 for majority of teams in the league. We were blessed to have him and AJ Brown for a while. Dallas Goedert back's going to be huge for us. Jonathan Grenard, if he stays healthy, he'll be huge.
He's awesome for the Vikings.
And I think, in my opinion, I think Eagles have easily the best cornerback room in the league. You have Woolen, Quinn Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. We'll see what they do with Cooper DeJean just because our safety room is not good.
He can play more.
He could play safety, but
nickel.
him nickel, man, all pro last year. I think
him in the nickel, Woolen on the outside across from
exactly. And with I think Fangio staying was huge. I was very scared that he was gonna walk this year and retire and call it a career, but man, I just think we're gonna be so good next year. Honestly.
I have the Eagles at 11-6. I feel like their ceiling is 11 wins, so I have them hitting their ceiling. They're just the Eagles. They're good. They'll consistently be good. I don't know how much of their offseason moves move me to say that they're like a guaranteed lock to win the division, but 11 wins is my ceiling for them.
I got the Eagles 10-7, same as the Cowboys, but they win the division with the 4-2 record. I think they take care of the division the best out of all these teams, like they have done in the past. The thing for me with the Eagles, I'm kind of more bought in on this team than a little bit more than other people, because I think with all the drama that happened with AJ Brown and stuff, they got AJ Brown out of the facility now. This is going to be a prove a year to say, hey, listen, we're still one of the elite teams in the NFL. We have Saquon Barkley. We got a new offensive coordinator coming in. Jalen Carter newly extended. I've always loved Nolan Smith since the pre-draft process before the Eagles even taken him. I think he slid in the NFL draft, honestly, too, a couple of years dating back. But for me, Eagles win this division. But Eagles fans are never happy with how they play. Like, if they win the division 10-7, people are going to be somehow mad still. But I think this is a prove-it year for the Eagles where Jalen Hurts has to show, like last year, he can play better, and that one Super Bowl run wasn't just a fluke because of a super team. And like we've said previously on the show, it's one of the all-time teams we've seen in a Super Bowl performance. The Eagles, they put on an absolute show, destroying the Kansas City Chiefs.
That defense that we had in 2024 easily in my opinion, probably arguably one of the best defenses we've seen in the NFL in a long time.
It's an NFL history defense,
Easily.
for sure.
Absolutely.
It's probably the best since the Broncos Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where they had Hargrave, they had Jalen Carter, they had Nolan Smith,
Milton Williams.
Milton Williams, who he was in talks for Super Bowl MVP that game too.
Yeah,
the way
he
he
played
wreaked havoc.
absolutely amazing. Cooper DeJean had a pick. Zach Bond had a pick. That game, man, that was a generational game.
Yeah, I'm agreed with you. I have the Eagles at 11-6, same as Ryan, 4-2 in the division, so they beat the Giants by a game. The questions I have a few questions with the Eagles. One we mentioned. How does Devonta Smith look as a wide receiver one? I think he can do it. We've just never seen it before. And I think the bigger question that's kind of flying under the radar, can they get the running game back? Because it fell off last year.
That's the thing that they depend on with the Eagles.
Because their O-line that's the thing, like, that had been their staple for a long time, a dominant offensive line, and that fell off last year. So if they can get that dominant running game back, and I'm not saying Saquon's going to run for 2,000 yards again necessarily, but he needs to be able to get more space than he did last year, and I think that's going to be the key to Jalen Hurts having a good year. Because if they're a pass-first team, I don't like them nearly as much because you've seen the play calling can be stale and things can go wrong. But if the teams have to worry about that run game, then Jalen Hurts can be a very, very good quarterback because he has some weapons to play with.
He's got to use his legs more.
I think too, how you touched on O-line. O-line will be a big question. Obviously, losing Just Outland was huge for us. Obviously, he was the mastermind behind the O-line that the Eagles have had for just years.
Yeah.
Easily was, I would say, with Jason Kelsey, he was arguably turned him into the player he was. Obviously, Landon Dickinson was banged up. There was rumors that he was going to retire this year. He shut them down a couple days ago in the media. It just depends on the health with the O-line. Mailata, if he can just regain, he regressed a tad bit, I would say, not crazy amount. Lane Johnson's getting up there in age, so we'll see how he plays. But yeah, the running game definitely needs to come back. I think Saquon will have a bounce back year. Obviously, I don't think he'll have anywhere near the year he had in 2024, of course, but definitely the run game is gonna have to step it up because we can't see what was going on last year when it was just Saquon up the middle, running 4 verticals. That cannot happen this year.
So yeah, we all got the Eagles winning the division. They won the division last year, but
They were the
hopefully
First back.
hopefully more of a better year for them overall and how the offense looks in totality. But before we end off here, Aleyab, I'll let you send this off. You got give me a hot take you got for this year and give me your Super Bowl pick matchup and who you got winning.
So I remember clearly, I wrote this down on my list here. Obviously, like most of the league, I have the Rams going to the Super Bowl.
What do you think in the AFC?
The AFC is tricky, man. We could see a sneaky year from. I hate to be a Buffalo Bills guy here. We could see the Bills, maybe with Sean Brady, obviously with the connection he has with Josh Allen. I think obviously the Bills probably the pick to come out, but just to see if Josh Allen can get over the hump. Last year, he just absolutely pissed the bed. He had the easiest run of his life to the Super Bowl, and obviously loses that game. Controversially, some people say to the Broncos. I think it was
not controversially, just kind of sucks for him. A receiver couldn't hold on to the ball, and I've
argued with a lot of personal fans about that catch. Obviously, I personally said it was a catch. Baltimore could come back, or sorry, not a catch. My bad. Not a catch. Baltimore could have a sneaky year as well. I think they improved. I have a sneaky pick for them. Jacoby Lane will be huge for them. I was heavy. I was surprised he dropped the 3rd round. I thought he was going to be a 2nd round pick easily. I was heavy with him on USC. Yeah, you can't take out the Chiefs as well. I'd probably put sneaky. I'll go Rams Buffalo.
Rams Buffalo. Who you got winning the Super Bowl?
I have Rams.
Rams. Yeah. Okay. Well, there it is. Thank you for joining the show again. That's going to do it for episode 70 of the Alec Frengos Show. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.